Thank you. Morning, everybody. I appreciate you being here. What for me feels like bright and early, so I appreciate it. My name is Danny Boyle. I'm one of the program managers on the commercial industrial team over here at Efficiency Vermont. And one of the programs I oversee is commercial new construction. We did a lot of work this past spring to update and try to bring some new things to market for the commercial new construction program. So I'm here to talk a little bit about those today. So first, just what we're going to generally be going over. So I'm going to walk through some offer changes to the majority of our current offers. Spoiler alert, it's more money, which is always my favorite thing to get to tell people. The next is we do have a new offer launching in the program, and it's a little bit different of a delivery than we've used for the commercial new construction offers these past couple of years. So I'm going to go through that. And then the last is going to be just a quick walkthrough of where to actually go on our website to find the different resources I'm talking about today, the other commercial new construction resources. Um, yeah, just a quick kind of navigation demo so we can walk through the website and find a bunch of these different important documents and landing pages and so forth that I also have linked into the slides. So just a really quick recap. I'm sure everybody almost know why they're here, but for the commercial new construction program, like many of Efficiency Vermont's programs, the goal we have is to increase energy efficiency and then ultimately lower operating costs. So whether this means through our support in meeting the commercial building energy standard requirements, especially with the new requirements for 2024, in exceeding those requirements. As a component of our program is being above code, always striving for the best we can do. And through that, support having our technical assistance available from our engineering team, our account management team, all the way from early stage conversation before any sort of design goes down on paper through when buildings receive their occupancy. And the kind of last component of that is to identify efficiency opportunities for your build, for your design, for your client, beyond even what was just kind of originally within the scope of what we talk about as our commercial new construction offers. So an example of this could be the selection of Energy Star rated appliances for a kitchenette in an office building. Great, so I'll jump into the fun part. So our program is kind of in four different custom buckets. So four different sort of focuses within that's kind of the foundations that we see in every single building that we work on. So first being the building envelope tightness. So with the 2024 CBs, the requirement for building envelope tightness has gone up to that 0.25 CFM 75 per square foot. So what we've set here at Efficiency Vermont as, we totally understand and see as a pretty ambitious air leakage goal is this 0.07 CFM 75. And with that goal in mind, we were able to kind of up our incentives. So first and foremost, being that we absolutely recommend and want to encourage everybody to bring in a building envelope commissioning agent as early in the process as possible. To really help push forward towards this air leakage goal. And so as long as you've brought on that commissioning agent and have an above code goal, we are able to offer up to $8,000 or up to 75% of the cost to hire the building envelope commissioning agent or to utilize error barrier. So that same up to 8,000 can go to either one, the envelope commissioning agent or utilizing error barrier. And so if that air leakage goal of the 0.07 CFM75 is reached, then we do a base $4,000 incentive plus 50 cents per square foot. This is significantly larger than the incentive we used to have, which was a $2,000 base. And then the square footage was calculated a little bit differently, but we kind of standardized it to match up with some of the other ways we calculate our per square foot incentives in commercial new construction. And this is how things shook out. Um, and again, in understanding that this is a far above code goal, this is an ambitious goal. You don't have to necessarily meet this 0.07 to qualify for an incentive. It qualifies for the full incentive. However, with working with our engineers, we are able to prorate this incentive just so long as the RC, your CFM 75 is above that 0.25 required in code. And so there's, our estimated annual savings, usually based, this number is off about a 10,000 plus square foot office building. But this $1,200 with the directed air sealing. So that includes the involvement of building envelope commissioning agent. And this is probably the offer we want to highlight first and foremost, mostly just for, the context folks here I'm sure are very familiar with, that air sealing is the most cost-effective energy measure that you're going to do throughout your new construction. It's going to lower the operating cost for them through lowered utility bills. You can completely resize HVAC equipment if you get a tight enough versus not tight enough thermal shell. So potentially even downsize equipment installation costs. All of those really great perks that come along with a tight envelope. I see there's a question in the chat. I can't see the chat personally, just the
Hi,
little.
Danny. There shouldn't be any questions just yet. I just put
Oh,
it.
okay. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, I can't see it, just a notification. Beautiful. And the other thing I will note, part of the incentive to hire the building envelope commissioner as well is that the 2024 CBs does now require to have a blower door test for code compliance. So we'd love to pay for it and support you in getting that blower door test completed. And then the results from that blower door test can very easily be sent over to us and what's used to calculate your incentive. The next kind of bucket we look at in these building foundations is an efficient LED lighting design. So our baseline for this is about 20% better than whatever is the current CBs. So right now there is still a mix of buildings out there that are either held to the 2020 CBs or the 2024 CBs. All just depends on your permitting cycle. So this will hold to that 20% above whichever CBs your project is affiliated with. So either 2020 or 2024. This was another exciting incentive increase. We were able to double the incentive. So it used to be 20 cents per square foot floor area, and now it's 40 cents per square foot floor area. We do estimate for, again, usually thinking about this like 10,000 square foot office for a general build, looking at $500 of this annual energy savings. For these designs, our other major recommendations are that you use Design Lights Consortium or DLC listed lights or Energy Star listed LED fixtures. Yeah, and I will talk a little bit more about the information for this incentive when we get to the website walkthrough. But we do have a tool that we offer called the Lighting Power Density Calculator, where you can put all of your information into that and send it over to us for calculating your incentive amount and looking at the percentage above commercial building energy standard for the LPD. We also, if you've gone through some of your CB's process already, we did ComCheck in lieu of our NPD tool as well. Great. So the next one being energy and heat recovery. So for this, the goal is really to be pushing forward ERV systems with this 70% or greater SRE, so that's sensible recovery efficiency, with variable controls, so able to, have variable speeds going on the fans and have these tied to an occupied and unoccupied schedule. So in following with all of these kind of attributes of the goal, it lays over well with our general recommendation that they operate about roughly 75% of their maximum capacity. So an example would be if you have an ASHRAE 62.2 ventilation rate of around 600 CFM, we would look at an ERV capable of delivering a maximum of that 800 CFM. That way you can be running at the 600 and it is roughly that 75% maximum capacity. And the incentive for this very similar in number anyway to our LED lighting design. We were able to increase it from 20 cents per square foot to 40 cents per square foot this year. And this is for an ERV system that does also have that occupied unoccupied schedule with it. And so following this system kind of as recommended and described with the controls and the variable speed looks at about $200 to $300 annually for those energy savings. Great. So this last kind of foundational update is the mechanical systems. There's no updates here. Our mechanical systems offers are the same as these always been. Just to point out for commercial new construction, we do encourage electrically powered HVAC equipment. There are kind of multiple ways in working with Efficiency Vermont for you to purchase heat pumps, other electric HVAC equipment. There are our point of sale discounts for certain qualified products, or since commercial new construction is such a one-on-one technical assistance, you're working every step of the way with one of our engineers, just ask them if you have something that's not on a qualified product list or something you think would be better looked at from a custom standpoint. We have a whole slew of different avenues, different equipment types we can look at with folks for their mechanical systems. Awesome. So that was the end of existing updates. Um, I'm going to go quickly into our new offer. It's not anything too grandiose, but I think it's pretty exciting. So we are now able to offer a downstream rebate on our triple pane windows for commercial new construction. So the goal here, improve envelope tightness, right? We talked a lot about envelope tightness. And we all know windows are usually one of the weakest parts of the envelope. So the tighter we can be getting the windows, tighter we can be getting the building envelope tightness, further we can push towards those goals. Never hurts to have natural light in your projects also, increases lighting efficiency. So there's lots of different reasons that triple pane windows are a worthy investment and something we would like to support people in adopting in new builds. The incentive we currently have running for this is $150 per window. So the requirements for this incentive is that it is listed on the Energy Star 7.0 list, and it specifically is associated with the northern U factor. So there's a different U factor for different parts of the country, and we have our list, I'll show on the rebate page, filtered out by the northern U factor requirement. Right now, it is said to be for buildings approximately 15,000 square feet and less. And this is a new construction only offer. So unfortunately, we're not able to offer these incentives on windows for any sort of existing building or retrofit, but it is available for those real like, gut the building, big rehabs, and these pure new construction projects. Great. And that brings me to doing a little bit of a resource and navigation demo. Um, So, the main items I think are most important to be able to find on our website of follow-up information for sharing with folks is going to be the actual landing page for our commercial new construction program. On that landing page is where you can find these other three. So we have a custom project intake form if that's how you'd like to begin communication with us. We have our offers sell sheet, which runs through all four of those foundational custom offers that I went through in the beginning. And then we have our triple pane windows rebate page where you can actually apply and submit the form, which will give you the cashback rebate per window. And the other ones we'll look through really quickly is just where on our trade partner resources to find both that lighting power density tool I had mentioned when talking about the LEDs and where there's the landing page for finding energy code support. So I'm going to very quickly switch over my screen share.
Thanks, Annie. And while folks wait, I dropped a link for the CNC landing page and the project intake form in the chat, so folks can follow along while you walk through it.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Is everybody seeing?
Yep.
Perfect. So we've made it to the main page of Efficiency Vermont's website. Welcome. Um, so when you get to the main page here, if you're going to be navigating to each of the things we'll talk about today, from the main page, you go to Services here at the top. To your right on the page, you'll see Renovation and Construction. There's lots of different options down here, but today we're focused on commercial new construction. And so this will take you to the landing page. So this is the commercial new construction page that Bryn dropped the link into the chat for us. Um, and this walks through very high level, kind of what some of the goals of the program are. This is where you can directly go and contact us via our main phone number. So this phone number will take you to our amazing operation service team, who's very, very well versed in getting folks connected and on their way with these projects. And if you scroll down a little bit more on this, how to get started, if the way you'd like to begin your outreach process with us is more online, more form-based, you can click here to fill out a project intake form. And this is for new construction in general. So there's a couple of things that'll pop up on this page that aren't necessarily relevant to commercial new construction. The first of those being the income qualification that's really focused on residential and multifamily construction. Um, but then once we get to this bottom form, beginning where the page turns gray, these are all applicable questions to all of our new construction programs. So this is the form itself that folks would be filling out, and then that would submit, come over to our team, and you would be hearing from us shortly to get in touch and discuss further about your project. And if we scroll down a little more, we're back on the landing page. There is our new triple pane Windows offer. So right on the landing page will be a way you can get to this rebate page without having to kind of go to the rebate landing page and search through. So for the triple pane window offer itself, you would scroll there on the landing page, click redeem this offer, and it'll bring you directly to its rebate page. This rebate can be filled out either online, so you can fill it out directly online in our online rebate center, or you can download the PDF version of the form, and this is fillable right on here. So you can feel free to fill out this PDF and then submit it back to us, or if you go to redeem online, this will walk you through step by step on the questions that would be on that PDF form and how to apply for this rebate. Like I said, the rebate is $150 per window and is cash back. Right now, to note there, since we do have that kind of requirement on building size, there's no limit on number of windows to purchase. But we do ask you to keep a number of windows per project per purchase on form. Great. And then from this landing page, the other kind of big click off would be you can find it easiest still under this triple pane Windows kind of blurb. And at the end, where it's to contact us and review those offers, it's referring to this sentence here about the whole building focused offers. And that is where you can get to this nifty 3-page sheet that walks through, since we wrote it almost verbatim, a lot of what I walked through here with you today. So it's got a little bit of extra information about different recommendations, the different benefits of addressing different whole building measures. And that is the sheet that will really hold the bulk of the information we went through today. So that's everything on the commercial new construction main landing page. The other section I wanted to really quickly show folks how to navigate is our trade partners. So if you are back on the main Efficiency Vermont website, look to the top of the page and over to the right, all the way to the right in this small green font will be the For Trade Partners page. And under tools and resources for our energy code support, you can see this second caret right here brings you to the page that's all of our resources for energy code. So first listed is the residential building energy standard. So if you scroll down just a portion of the way through the page, you will get to the commercial building energy standard. And here's where we have um, kind of a whole slew for the 2024 CVs of how to actually access digital copies of the code itself, some guides, some videos. We had a whole 2024 CVs training series, so there are some overview trainings posted here as well. And then on partner resources, which is right below energy code support, we have a whole slew of different resources that get posted here, informative tools for folks. So I find the easiest way to do things like this is if you hit Control F in your browser, a little search bar will pop up. You just type in light. The only thing you'll be brought to right here is our lighting power density tool. And if you click link, you're brought right to the page where you can download the tool. Um, so what will actually happen here for you folks is you will put your name, your company, your address. The email will come into me, and then you'll be sent the download link. This tool actually just got updated yesterday. So it's very exciting that we've got everything completely up to date to share with you folks. And that is all I had for website navigation.
Awesome.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Danny. We have, as promised, we have plenty of time
Yeah.
for questions,
So I talk pretty fast also if
any
anyone needs me
details,
to reiterate.
and anything that you might want us to go back to or cover in more detail, or so please raise your hand, drop a question in the chat. We'll just wait a minute or two here to give you a chance to type that in. If there's nothing else for you before you want to sign off, I do see a hand raised though. Oh, maybe not. If you're not, if you don't have any burning questions, thanks for joining us today, and we hope to catch you on a project soon.
I think I see one.
I think they're coming in. Tad, go ahead. You should be unmuted.
Good morning. Wondering, I don't know if I saw a estimated payback from you all on the triple pane windows.
It is $150 per window.
That's the incentive, but what's the annual payback estimate?
Oh, so we don't have a generalized one calculated for the annual incentive. That is if we
Do you have a range?
I don't currently have one. I could get that for you though. So I can make a note and I'll grab your contact information from here and I will double check with our team on what we can get for that range.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great question. We have a question in the chat. Curious, and Danny, you might not be able to answer this right now, but how will the potential privatization of Energy Star affect BIC and Efficiency Vermont?
Yeah, so I can currently only really speak to this program on how that would affect things. So overall, I do want people to feel rest assured, trust us, this is on our mind. There's a lot of internal conversation happening about it. A lot of folks trying to make sure that we're, as an organization, as resilient as possible to any of the coming changes. For the only Energy Star associated effect in this program would be that qualified product list for the triple pane windows. And for us, we would lift that list out. So we should theoretically, if that privatization is going to happen, have at least some sort of window of warning. And that's the first action we'd take there is just kind of to lift out the list. But we'd be in very close communication with our local distributors, with all of you folks, talking about where you're getting your windows from, so we can be in constant contact with the supply chain as these changes might go through. It's not a perfect answer. It's not a this is the definitive path we take. But it is something that, you know, market rest assured, we've been thinking a lot about it. And we do have some hopeful plans we won't need to use. I see. Does the 3-pane window incentive? It does apply to additions as well. So any new construction that includes additions.
Yeah, and just to say the question for the recording, does the 3-pane window incentive apply to additions or just new buildings? And so
Yes.
that's, and I'm not clear about Walter, if that's a statement or a question. Or, okay, thank you. In your ERV incentive, there isn't anything asking for CO2 sensors, is that correct?
That is correct. It just has to be on some sort of occupancy schedule. So you can do that through using CO2 sensors as your form of occupancy control. It doesn't specify how you're doing occupancy control, just that you're doing it.
Great. So not allowing flexibility there and not specificity. So that's helpful to know. Great questions. Give it another minute here. I also want to encourage folks, if you have a question, I'm sure somebody else has the same question. So definitely put it in the chat or raise your hand. We'd love to cover that. Question is the dual fuel RTU rebate a potential point of purchase rebate for CNC projects?
Theoretically, yes. The size limits on the RTUs, I think, well, we haven't seen them come through for commercial new construction yet at this point. Granted, that program is pretty new. This is something where it's kind of another reason I encourage folks as early in your projects as possible to get in touch with us. Because something like if the point of purchase for the dual fuel RTU is a good fit for how to purchase your mechanical equipment for new construction, is something the engineer will be able to work with you pretty individually on. When it comes to the mechanical systems especially, it is very helpful to have us in the conversation as early as possible, because there might be, you know, a system that does qualify for our point of sale rebate that is going to end up being your best deal, or there might be a system where because of how a new funky thing looks in a 2024 CB's baseline, we could run it custom and get you a better incentive. So there's a lot of minutia, not minutia, nuance there. And so for the mechanical systems especially is one of those spaces that I just really, really encourage folks to get in touch with us as early in your project process as possible.
Yeah, I think that's a great recommendation, a great reminder of, we also want to help, extend the incentives that you have access to as much as possible and really dial in to your project specifics. So that's where that custom incentive, custom rebate comes into play. And it really just is a matter of reaching out to us and having a conversation. Excellent. If there isn't anything else, just want to extend a thank you for everyone that